Jesus Christ, this is going to be an experiment, because we have no topic and there's nobody here.
And we teased space on the last one.
And we teased space. Alright. Hi, everybody who came here expecting space talk. Sad news. Yeah, listen. This week, in honor of Oblivion coming out in theaters, our topic was going to be space. But then, turns out, Oblivion doesn't involve space at fucking all.
It does. There's space in that film.
There's a little bit of space. But also, the guys on our show who are the biggest outspoken fans of sci-fi couldn't be here. I've been running ragged for the past week straight. Like, I've literally, in the past 4 days, only had, 1 hour of time in my apartment in which I wasn't sleeping. So I didn't get to do any preparation for this at all. Jackson prepared his ass off, though.
Let me count how many space films I've watched in the last week, because it's a lot. And it's loading up now. It would be the time that my internet decides to not load the page.
Alright, well, while Jackson counts that, aside from me, we're joined by Michelle, who's also been super busy. We have Maz here, who I'm sure knows a lot about space, but can't stay for the second segment where we talk about space. And that leaves us with Jackson.
I know nothing about space.
Oh, okay. It is big and vast. Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, we also have Jackson here, and Jackson prepped his ass off for this show, and, yeah, he's the only one. So
I've watched 18 space movies in 5 days.
We're so sorry we made you go through all that.
I still haven't seen Road to Perdition. Well, does Road to Perdition take place in space?
They could remake it that way.
It would be better, wouldn't it?
Road to Perdition is great, but it did disappear from so many people's minds quickly, which is a total shame. But, if nobody has seen it, I understand, because it was, here and gone.
No, I have it on
Tom
DVD.
Hanks kills people. That's America's cinematic dad. Killing people.
Exactly.
And he's playing a dad in that movie, too.
So this is just a filler episode?
This is kind of just a filler episode. We're going to have news. We're going to have trailer talk, because there is some important stuff to talk about with trailer talk. And then as far as our second main topic, I have no idea what the fuck that's going to be.
We'll think of something.
We'll think of something. We might just throw out an open, ask us questions on Twitter thing right now. See if we can get anything. But who knows? Maybe we'll post something up on screen. Who knows? We'll see. This is exciting. I'm excited myself. And slightly drunk. But mostly excited. So, I'm just going to start off by saying, how have you guys been doing?
I've been doing good. Me and Maz have been discussing English and American culinary traditions when it comes to muffins. So we have an exciting life.
Okay, I have a question for you. This is going to sound weird. Do you guys just have bagels in Britain?
We have bagels, yes.
Okay, because I always thought that your English muffin was far more like a bagel than our muffins. So I was wondering if that was your version of it. Or...
It basically is. It's just bread without a hole, and it's not as sugary. But we have a fine array of breakfast pastry and bread, so we can deal.
And it's all this time I always thought Americans would call English muffins, and the English would call English muffins crumpets, but apparently you say they're completely different things. They're two different bread things.
Well, that is a good point. You actually call English muffins?
No, we call them muffins.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
So what do you call muffins? American muffins?
No, muffins.
So, when you go to the bakery and you order a muffin, do they know which muffin you're talking about?
No, it's not that hard to understand. Watch this. Hey, Marklar. Yes? See?
Well, you never get American muffins. You never get plain American muffins.
Oh,
that's true.
So, regular ass muffin is just bread, slightly sweeter, and with the weird thing. I don't know how they do it with magic.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. The nooks and crannies in English muffin. This is what we have left here, folks.
Have you seen a crumpet? Then do you know what a crumpet looks like?
We have no idea.
Blow your mind.
I'm googling it now.
Googling crumpets.
It's just like a thing that's yellow with holes in, and you're like, how did this work?
Oh, wow. Those actually look like the English muffins that we sell in America, so...
I think that's what we call English muffins.
So you don't... Hang on.
Wait, what the fuck is an English muffin?
I'm confused!
We finally get on iTunes, and this is how we start.
Dude, this is more productive and lively than we normally are. At least me. Normally at this point I'm like, oh my god, you fuckheads are talking about muffins right now? Are you fucking kidding me?
Alright, so Google English muffin versus crumpet.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
Yeah, like...
Versus crumpet.
And there's the
It's like actually suggested.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these things are English muffins. Or whatever, the muffins. Hang on, I've got it here. It just looks like some kind of breaded bun thing that you cut open. I'll link it. I'll post it up on the screen for it.
That will be our title card.
Yes, I will draw an English muffin and a crumpet beating the crap out of each other with like boxing gloves or something.
I just have to point something out. On the when you go in Google image search and type English muffin versus crumpet, right in the middle of it all is a big picture of Will Smith smiling. I don't know why that one's there, but alright.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Seriously, Google that shit.
What?
Big ass picture of Will Smith.
He's like kneeling down.
I think he's like putting his like handprints.
He's doing handprints, yeah. Let's stop with the visual humor on this one right now. Okay.
English muffins look like this, but American muffins look like this.
And as you can see,
Jesus Christ.
this is the difference between an English muffin and a crumpet. See? Here's a diagram right there.
Some have holes in.
Alright. Okay, yeah, okay, I think I got it. They're similar-ish, it looks like. Alright. But what I think crumpets have more of the nooks and crannies on the inside.
Next you'll say you guys don't have sausage rolls, and then I'll be like, what?
We do, but we call them sausage links.
What the fuck? What's
Well,
a
they're
sausage
like
link?
linked together when
Yeah.
you make the sausage. Hence, sausage link.
But they're not. Sausage rolls aren't linked. Sausage rolls are sausages in pastry.
Oh.
We call
that
them pigs
sounds
in a
delectable.
blanket.
I thought we called him a corn dog.
I guess it depends. Like, basically, like a pig in a blanket is like a tiny hot dog roll wrapped in a pastry, and a corn dog is a hot dog that's been dipped in batter and then fried. So, I don't know what sausage rolls if they're baked or fried. So
Yeah, that's what we eat.
Alright. Alright, Maz, how have you been doing?
Right now I'm a bit of an emotional wreck. Got denied entry into UCR. I exist now just to make your editing process harder. Yeah, no.
With Callum not here, someone has to.
Been watching a lot of TV.
You have.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure you're gonna want me to talk about it though, Eric. Kick me out of this call. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Drexel, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Drexel.
I
He's
was literally
genuinely
like,
watching
nah,
it.
man, talk about whatever you want. And then you talk about, like, the one thing that I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
well, that's
Hey,
what
I
happens
did
when you don't
this
have
for
anything
school.
planned.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess so.
It's your own fault.
I brought this upon myself.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Hey, this was for my schoolwork.
Wait, okay, back
I'm
up.
getting graded for it.
Wait, so you included Yu-Gi-Oh in your schoolwork?
It's an extreme school.
Yep.
Extreme!
How many people in your class have really weird, outrageous haircuts?
None actually, but speaking of weird, outrageous haircuts, Code Lyoko Evolution is a thing.
Oh man, yes. You told me about this.
Come on. Any of y'all seen Code Lyoko before? Come on.
I've tried
Michelle?
watching it. I couldn't get into
I
it.
couldn't get past the giant foreheads. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Yeah, it's the weirdest ass character designs.
Oh, well, one, I kind of have a slight admiration for that show. But second, y'all need to go check out some Code Lyoko Evolution, because that shit is now live.
Wait, it's like
Action.
live action?
Yes.
Yep.
The real world stuff is live action with actors.
Do
And
they
the Lyoko
have
stuff is
do
still
they have
3D.
a headwear to make their enlarged foreheads and everything, like they do with the cone heads or something?
No, they just have really dumb hair, like stupid anime bad cosplay hair. Like, it's literally like they just handed pictures of the like the drawings of the cast to the costume designers, is like, make them into this. Don't bother thinking about ideas of taste or realism, kinda.
Just think like bad Power Rangers.
Bad cosplay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just like, no, we are canonically 100% in the canon with this cosplay, and you look retarded for doing it. And
If it
also,
really was
like,
canon, they'd have like surgery to make their foreheads large.
and also,
gonna keep writing that
turns out
joke.
one of my
Yes,
favorite
I am.
characters is like 12 or something, and I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, it's also, I'm watching it all in French because it's originally a French show.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of interesting because I haven't watched a good, like, subbed show in a while. But yeah, it's kind of bad. But once again,
really?
I watched it for school, so I can't complain.
Okay, but you still have to explain what was it for school? Like, what was the assignment?
What was it, like French class? Is that why? Or
No, it's TV studies, and we have to keep a television journal, and I was just like, yeah, this TV, it just... Well, okay, technically you could watch the show on demand via the Kabillion on-demand service, which is up there, which is on various cable and satellite providers. But you have to watch it in English, which if you go and watch the trailer for the English dub, it's so bad. So
It's
bad.
terrible. It is.
And then that's also why I watched Hugo Drexel is for my television journal.
Is it called Drexel or Zexel? I can't tell.
Zexel. Drexel sounds like a drug, which would be far more interesting.
Yu-Gi-Oh sounds like a drug when you think about it.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a drug, and card games are the shit.
Yeah, I have a confession to make. I've been a card game addict for a long time, and I've been off it for like 5 years now. But I know
You
that
had
like
to tap those lands.
Yeah. Don't make me think about Magic. I've still got like 5 20-sided die over there.
like seriously,
Just
though,
staring
if
me
you go
down.
Just watch an episode. I'm not quite sure how self-aware the people who dubbed this and translated it were or not, because on one hand, it really feels like this callback to the abridged series, and that the main character is utterly dumb, and people call him out on, you are really dumb, for real. And it's like, how
Do
are
they say
these
that?
things possible?
Do they go, you're really dumb, for real? Because that's great dialogue for a kid's show.
Basically, and then he's talking to, like, his spirit animal, who's an alien. The show's so dumb.
Oh, that sounds great. You're selling me on it.
Yeah, but then I've also been watching good TV, you guys.
Oh, what have you been
Such as-
watching?
Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Fuck yes.
That show is really good. If I could have watched it when I was 5, I would have.
Damn.
Andre Braugher is a great actor. I love him. Yeah, that show's great. I had to explain to a person in my TV studies class who, like, I'm like one of the 5 people who's like a huge TV head and film head in this class. And so I had to explain, like, what Homicide was to this person. I was like, did you see The Wire?
It's
No.
when one man kills another.
And I was just like, imagine Law and Order, but real, where cases don't get solved. The detectives are just all terrible human beings with crippling social issues. And everyone is basically a piece of shit, and Baltimore is hell on earth.
it
Which
is
is
hilarious.
kind of
that's
like
not
reality.
That's an exaggeration.
Michelle used to live there, yeah. She can tell
How
you.
did you survive?
I didn't live in Baltimore, but I lived like half an hour outside of Baltimore. So like every day on the news, like, oh, another shooting, another murder.
Isn't it the murder capital of America?
I'm pretty sure it is. If
It's just like...
Their sports team is
Homicide-
named after a bird that eats dead flesh. It's
well, that's because Edgar Allan Poe used to live in Baltimore, so the Baltimore Ravens, and so.
and it was too depressing for him to survive in.
Why isn't The Following set in Baltimore, then? Like, have any of you guys been watching The Following at all?
You don't need to ask that question. You know the answer.
Yes. Oh, no, okay.
No, none of us have been watching it.
I got through 8 episodes, I think. Yeah.
Jesus. I don't even think Stacy got through that many, and she had a screener.
Well, I was going to write about it, and then, hey, no one's paying me for that. I'm just gonna drop it.
Yeah.
Final Dasta didn't say you need to write about it. I'm good.
No more following for anyone. You are bacon free.
Oh, man, Kevin Bacon.
I know.
Okay, but yeah, that's basically what I've been up to.
Well, cool. Michelle, you been up to anything?
Other than partying because it was my birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday. But yes. Wait a minute, hold on. I gotta interrupt real quick. I just went on screen to open up a file to ask people questions. Final Dasa just put up a post asking people to make him watch bad movies. That's my thing!
That's been up for a while.
That's been up. Yeah, that's been up for a while.
Oh, it's only been up for a week. No, like 4 days. It's been up for like 4 days. That's my thing, son of a bitch.
You have to think in internet time, where days last about 4 seconds.
I haven't been home in like 4 days except to just pass out on my bed. I have been off the internet for a while now.
You, sir, are excused.
What's going on in Boston? Is everything okay there?
Okay.
That was terrible on me.
Yeah.
That
It's
You
a
should feel
shitty
bad.
week. For
Yeah, that was shitty.
Shitty week for America.
Yeah, I tried to. I was like, on the last episode, I was like, should I say something about this? And I was like, normally I don't, but it's just so fucking depressing. And like, I was getting depressed just watching other people get depressed. Like, I could not take seeing more people say how horrible the world is to live. It's like,
Do
there
any
is.
of you guys?
Hmm?
The public people shaming Tumblr blog or public shame Tumblr blog.
No, I've never
Oh
heard
God,
this.
no.
That will kill all hope you have for humanity, basically.
Tumblr already did that with its normal post.
Yeah, no. I've been to some Tumblr blogs and Reddit posts that have just been, oh God, I want to die. But this exists. It's not good.
Well, here, let me just send you guys all pictures of cute puppies.
All right,
Hey.
that's what I. Yeah, that's what I basically just. Oh God, I can't take Tumblr. It's nothing but. It's nothing but, hey, look at this picture of me and my family. You, sir, are a monster. How dare you? And then just massive misinterpretations of anything that's said. Or it's just basically, hey, there's this warlord killing a whole bunch of people. Check this stuff out.
Man, that's why I only stay in the
I just
fandom
look at
section of
pictures.
Tumblr, alright?
Oh, jeez, I don't want to go into that either.
Hey,
I put sepia tones over these GIFs and they've got subtitles on it. Why?
well, dude, now we can officially start shipping Varys and Lady Olenna from Game of Thrones now, you guys. What does happen when the nondescript and the decrepit come together?
I
on,
ship
man.
Makora.
Oh, my God.
Get out!
Yeah, no one does that. That's how you knew it was joke time.
Okay.
Speaking of things that are terrible, I watched Armageddon. I think I should bring that up.
Yeah, that's like...
That's Michael Bay's best movie because it's at least... it's so awful, so offensive, and so terrible, but at least in an entertaining train wreck way.
That's the thing about Michael Bay. It's like, he is capable of creating that.
Oh no, because I was bored as shit during Bad Boys 2. I was like, oh God, please end. But in this, it was just, he's got space dementia.
Yeah.
Just what?
But,
That's Stevie
like,
Buscemi. What?
Doesn't this just make you more excited for Pain and Gain? I'm
Yes.
super excited for this movie.
Pain and Gain,
Totally.
man, if you didn't tell me that that was a Michael Bay film, and, like, no one knew, like, if you just used a fake name to direct that, I have no idea how I'd feel about that, because that does not look like a Michael Bay film to me.
It looks like, why has someone directed this indie film as if they were Michael Bay?
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, the moment that you hear it's Michael Bay, it's like a magic eye. Like, it suddenly comes into focus. But, like,
Yeah.
if you didn't know that, you'd be like, this is a very...
It's this smaller scale story with all these panning shots and upward angles. I don't understand.
Yeah,
For an
exactly.
indie movie, how did they get The Rock and Mark Wahlberg?
Because Michael Bay does bring people, I would assume.
Oh, well, yeah, but also, like, from what I understand, The Rock just enjoys working. So if he suddenly popped up in an indie film, I wouldn't be surprised. He hasn't done it, but if he did, I'd be like, good for him. Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
He is the great rebooter. He just shows up with your franchise and makes it popular again.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to wrestling.
Wrestling. Huh. This is why I don't watch wrestling ever, so I don't need to get upset about it when it's bad, which is always.
I used to be addicted to wrestling, I'll admit that, because I was like, it's basically, but like, it sucks to say, but I was addicted to it for the story. Because it was basically just soap operas for men, back when I was a teenager watching it.
Well, like, that was the Attitude Era. That was like, the wrestling was bad, but the on-screen camera stuff was good.
But yes. Anyway, so you saw Armageddon.
I saw lots of space movies,
saw
but
lots
I'll
of
probably
space things.
save.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'll save them for eventually. I think the only one I want to talk about is I totally saw Treasure Planet.
Yeah. I was looking at your Twitter and you wrote the mom in Treasure Planet is the best character, which is why she has to be left behind. And I was like, you have interpreted this film more than anyone has ever interpreted Treasure Planet.
For real though, I'm watching the beginning and it's just like this mom comes in, does this whole story thing. I'm like, that's great. And then it cuts to later and he's all being his bad boy self. And this mom just doesn't know what to do. It's this very human problem of my son's grown up. I don't know what's happening with his life. I don't know where his direction is. But I'm kind of proud of him. But he's doing these bad things and I want everything to work out. And that's the interesting part of this story. And they just fucking leave her behind. And I was just like, and it then goes to a father-son story, which plays up the tragedy of his dad leaving him, rather than playing up the implied triumph of his mum raising him alone. It just kind of bummed me out. I thought too deeply about Treasure Planet this Wednesday, because that's what I do.
Way too deeply. We can say that about Jackson. If there is a underlying meaning that even the director didn't mean to put in there, Jackson will find it.
Damn right.
So did you guys see the trailer for the Michael Bay Stars original series about young, not Captain Jack, what's the cyborg's name in Treasure Planet?
Oh,
what?
Ben?
Oh.
The Black Flag. I'm just going to look up on screen. 1 second.
The what?
I have the slightest clue what's going on here.
Silver's the cyborg.
Yeah,
Silver's
John.
the cyborg.
Yeah, like a young John Silver. It's called like Black Flag. Okay, yeah, here it is.
Black
It's
Flag's
from
that
Michael
new
Bay
Assassin's
and
Creed
Ian Marshall.
game. Are you making this up?
No, it's on screen here. It is called Black Sails.
Black Sails.
Not
Is that
Black
like-
Flag.
That sounds like Black Friday sales.
Yeah. I would totally watch a show about people working in a shop on Black Friday.
Oh, that would
Well,
be... How does that not happen? That would be awesome.
Exactly.
That'd
Someone
make
gets
a
to make
great
that.
found footage film.
Dude, I had to work Black Friday like... Geez, how many years in a row? I think it was like 2 years in a row at a crappy job. No, maybe even 3, which is depressing to have this crappy job I used to have.
Did you ever work opening? Or?
I had to work opening, and like... What was bad about wasn't the employees, because I wasn't in one of those places where it was bum rushed. But like, the people who owned the company thought it was going to be one of those things that gets bum rushed. So it'd be like, you have to be here at 4 a.m., and you got to hand out these free swag things to everybody that comes in, and you just open up and nobody was there. It's like the middle of the night in New York City, me just standing there with free shit on the street. That's the most terrifying thing you can imagine.
Because at least if it was a place that was busy, you'd be able to watch everyone run in and, I don't know, play the 2001 music in the background.
Yeah, and you could like hide and shit, but it's like, nope, me just standing out there ready to get mugged for 2 hours before anyone showed up.
It's like I used to work at Target, and I did have to work opening
Jesus.
on Black Friday. It's like I had to like come in at like 4 a.m. and there was like already a line outside the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, my job was like to direct the people to all the big sales until finally the electronics department got so backed up that I had to like go over there and start,
Assisting with sales, yeah.
yes.
Jesus, and not to, I don't know, you're probably going to piss at me for revealing this, but like, I'm a big guy, so if like a bunch of people came rushing in, I could still like line back the shit out of them. You're kind of small, so I would be freaked out if I was you and saw like that many angry, possessed customers just running and screaming and being nuts.
They weren't really angry. They were just like really excited about shit that doesn't even need to be bought in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like a Hello
those
Kitty
HDTVs.
toaster and...
Wait, what's the thing that doesn't need to be bought?
Those HD TVs, man, are hella discounted. I would totally go buy me 2 of them, just so I could have 2 of them.
There seriously needs to be a documentary made, not just about the Black Friday sales, but just about, like, sales in general. Just go to those companies that are just so obsessed with, no, we gotta get the lowest discounts, we gotta beat this guy's discount, and just look at how little money they're actually making off this, and, like, how shitty their employees have to live because of that. Like, that would be a great documentary someone needs to make.
You should watch Extreme Couponing on, like, TLC.
Yeah, that's what I love about extreme couponing. It's following the people. It's like, yay, look how much money I saved. It never sticks around to talk to, like, the employees and go, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to eat this week, and we just lost money because of this.
I have a 5 years worth of ketchup. Whatever am I going to do with that?
It's Glenn Ross in a Target.
Yeah, basically, that'd be pretty good. I have a 5-year supply of ketchup, but they sell the French fries in 6-year supplies. That's how they screw you.
You know what it takes to sell electronics? It takes brass balls to sell televisions.
Like Friday, it fucking takes a steamroller. But okay.
The coupons are weak.
The coupons are weak. You're fucking weak. Shit. We saw that on Broadway, and they don't have that speech in the actual play.
Oh,
It's
no,
the
they
most
don't.
disappointing part.
The play is way shorter and way tighter.
Yeah.
It does have the... Roma's opening line is the best opening line of any play, scene, or whatever, ever. It's just, all train compartments smell vaguely of shit.
Yeah, but I think it's better in the movie, because in the play, it comes after 2 other segments of the sales guys sitting around talking to one another. Then it cuts to him talking about that, and he's like, okay, you know this guy's a sales guy. In the movie... It was like some weird dream, like, is this guy actually here? What is this? And then all of a sudden when he opens up the package, like, oh, he's another sales guy.
Yeah, because in the movie it's got that earlier bit where he just does the speech about alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. Oh man, that film is so amazing.
It's good.
God damn.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of that, what else have you guys seen lately?
I watched the first episode of Awkward upon Kevin's asking everyone.
Alright, what'd you think?
It's so bad.
Oh.
But I can't. But no, because this is fun. It's well kind of made and it's funny. But I hate everyone and I hate everything about it. But yet it could just be that it actually has some self-awareness and will grow from that, and that's the point. So I haven't written it off, but because I'm told it's better than your average just high school show.
It's way better. I've only seen the first episode as well, and I actually like it. I'm on Kevin's side of this one. Well, Kevin likes it more than any of us, I think, but I still like it. But yeah, I can automatically tell. One of the reasons I like it is it's way better than any other like teenage high school drama thing.
Because I don't watch any teenage high school drama. I just lived one while I was a teenager.
Yeah, that's why I never watched any of that shit. Like, I can understand wanting to see something that you can relate to, but I was always that guy who was like, I'd rather see people in capes punching each other, because it's the exact opposite of everything around me.
Yeah.
Get me the fuck out of my head.
Y'all didn't want to see Kevin Smith show up on Degrassi?
I still don't even know what Degrassi is. Like, that's how far I stayed away from that stuff.
It's a dance craze.
You're a much better person for it.
Have you seen Kevin Smith's Degrassi, Jason Mewes, whatever, blah? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
And Austin Maz, have you?
Yeah, I have seen that.
Have you done a paper on it?
No. That would be interesting from a cultural perspective, actually. But no.
Because are they allowed? They're not allowed to swear, are they? And that's all Kevin Smith is some pretty creative swearing.
But he was as Silent Bob, though. And Kevin Smith.
But Jay was there, and all Jay is you know...
swearing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, in the Clerks animated TV show, they weren't really allowed to swear either, and I think they did some funny stuff with them, but they also had cartoon physics going into
Why are we walking like this?
What was that?
Why are we walking like this?
Yes. But yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, there was some fun stuff with Jay and that. Like, I love when Jay, on the night where it was the bottle episode where they couldn't leave the Quickie Mart and all the crazy stuff was happening outside, I love just seeing Jay keep running back inside. Man, oh, shove. You're not going to believe what's happening now. Like, that kept cracking me up. And that was weird, you know, weird, I don't know, he wasn't hipster, but like slacker, I guess, weird slacker speak as well. So
Yeah.
he can do weird slacker speak without cursing, but it helps when he has weird cartoon physics to back that up. After that, he's an R-rated creative cursing guy.
Definitely.
That's my biggest complaint about Dogma, is that there is too much swearing. I'm serious.
I guess, yeah. It's hard for me to remember, honestly.
I don't know, I think Dogma pulled it off. The swearing is a weird thing because that can take lots and lots of swearing, but you have to do it right. It's not too much swearing; it's just bad swearing. Then,
Yeah, it's like Kevin Smith is one of those guys who he wants to be kind of raunchy and
Yeah.
not offensive, but like crude just for the sake of it. Like the poop monster in Dogma is one of my.
why
big
is that?
problems with it.
Yeah, that's one of the problems of that movie. Just what?
There's a poop monster walking around. All right.
And there's no point to it. It just shows up and then they defeat it. And it's
I
like,
mean,
well,
yeah,
that
they
was a
need
poop
like
monster.
some kind of a demonic assassin to show, okay, there's something coming after us. Doesn't have to be a poop monster.
No,
You've
you
got
could
the
cut that
hockey
scene
kids
out.
already.
That's true. The hockey kids are pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh man,
The only time
Dogma's
a
pretty
poop
good.
monster is acceptable is when you're playing Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Fair enough.
Man, Kevin Smith is great in the 90s.
Yeah, he was. Man.
Yeah, before he went fucking insane. God damn. It's one of those weird. Kevin Smith is kind of my usual suspects guys. Like, because as soon as he went nuts, I kind of turned around and dropped the coffee cup and looked at his career and just went, oh shit. Like, all the bits of craziness are like there and slowly growing. And I'm like now noticing them. Like I remember on those like speech things I used to give, where he would stand up in front of a bunch of people and just talk. Like that was the thing. Even after I hate his movies, I still love those. But like I was watching one of them, and someone said, "Yeah, listen, I don't have the money to make this film. I want to do. What advice would you give?" And the advice he gives this poor struggling young filmmaker is get a bunch of credit cards, charge it all, and then you pay it back after that after you've made the money off your film. And I'm like, what the fuck? You just ruined that kid's life, man.
Yeah, well, that's because what he did, and there's things that Kevin Smith says now that are cool, but just I don't know. It's clear that because he was a young kid making Clerks, kind of nerdy guy, and just seems like the industry and the life has taken that out of him.
It's
and
totally
also-
taken out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell because the moment that I finally went, he's too far gone, is on one of those stand-up things, he mentioned, yeah, okay, Cop Out, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. But part of that is because, like, I was just so nervous to direct Bruce Willis. I was like, this is making me nervous, you saying that, making an excuse for this. And then in the very next one they did those, Cop Out came up again, and he said, Cop Out's a good movie. I don't know why everybody keeps bad-mouthing it. And I was like, he's too far gone now. It's happened.
Yeah, but it is sad because like if you're a guy coming up who has no preparation for Hollywood and makes a film in his own time, and everyone loves it, and then your career goes downhill when you're trying to be honest. What are you going to do but surround yourself by your big podcast network and insulate yourself? Because that just feels better.
He's totally in a bubble. That is his big problem. Is that he's completely.
But you can't blame him for it because everyone else is ripping up the shit. It's this horrible catch-22 vicious circle. Because I want that cool Kevin Smith back, and that would be beneficial to everyone. But it's a shame. Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing is that I feel like he did get criticism for some of his movies, but it's not more than a lot of other people have gotten, and a lot of those other people, they embrace it. They don't embrace it as in like, yeah, I am terrible. They embrace it as in like, all right, time for me to buckle down and study and try and become better. I mean, look at Ben Affleck, for fuck's sake.
It's true.
Ben Affleck had a far shittier career than anything Kevin Smith did, and he went, I should probably get back to writing. I should probably get back to actually doing stuff.
Well, Kevin Smith did that in the 90s. More Outs came out, which is actually pretty great now, and everyone knows that. But at the time, everyone just shat all over it. And then he went and wrote Chasing Amy, which did really well. So he has done that in the past, but it's just, I don't know, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is. He would far rather pay his friends to run an imaginary comic book store for him. By the way, I'd like to point something out. They have that reality TV show. I'm not
reality.
I'm not going to say. I've mentioned before that I work in a comic book store. I'm not going to mention what comic book store, but they were recently. One of the managers was recently telling me, "You guys know that with that show, there was an episode where they actually challenged us to a quiz off, and we kicked their asses, and that episode never aired. I'd just like to throw that out there.
It's pretty great.
Well,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith's got to finish writing Batman: The Widening Gyre sometime.
And then he's going to release Clerks 3 as a book first.
Oh, shit, is that the newest thing?
Well, he's writing the Clerks
Probably.
3 script, and then he said, I'm just going to write it as a book first, and then I'm going to make the film. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you
Make all
making
that
Clerks
sweet
3?
licensing money.
I don't,
Buy
yeah.
a ton of weed.
Yeah, oh man. Kevin Smith is the one guy who got less creative when he started smoking pot. Actually, that's not true. Kevin Smith is like almost every other stoner out there who just got lazy when he started smoking pot. But he's the one guy who got aggressive when he started smoking pot.
Yeah.
Pot is supposed to open your mind to weird new imaginations, man, and multiple dimensions, and to him it made him go, you know what, fuck it, running a comic book store is hard, man.
But
Oh
he
shit,
did-
did we
he-
forget to turn the open sign on?
To his credit, he did also write Red State, which isn't good, but it's a way better
It's at least
kind
different.
of
It's
bad.
at least him trying something. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it's got John Goodman being cool. The plot is just crazy. The like he specifically said in I think one of the Good talks that when he was writing it, he would just throw everything out the window. He'd write 10 pages, send it to someone. They'd go, "Here's what I think's going to happen next," and he'd just do something completely
Yeah,
different.
I saw that and that was good. Yeah.
It makes the just disjointed movie and weird, but it's interesting and not cop out.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was him
So-
trying something different, which I always applaud. Yeah, even if I don't
Yeah.
like the film, I applaud the effort. Yeah.
Agreed.
But all right, let's see. Anybody else seen anything you want to talk about?
No, I want to talk about some news.
I saw. There is one thing I've been able to see in the last week. I saw The Campaign because I was flipping through.
Oh, is that any good?
Actually, it's not bad.
Thank God. I'm going to see it now.
Yeah, it's like the first half hour of it, I was like, whatever, and the last half hour, I'm like, whatever. But the middle half, the middle half hour is honestly, I was getting pretty solid laughs out of it. I mean, granted, I'm a big political nut, and I just love comedy about politics, so I will fully put that out there that I'm a little bit biased. Plus, as I was flipping by, it said set in North Carolina. A North Carolina congressional race, and I was like, I'm originally from North Carolina. I fucking hate that state, which we are now international because we're on iTunes. So yeah, I'll put that out there. I can never go back now. Yeah, I hate North Carolina, so I was like, you know what? I actually work for a politician in North Carolina. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna watch this, and you know what? Yeah, it's better than most. I laughed more than I did at the last, I don't know, like 3 or 4 Will Ferrell or Zach Galifianakis films.
I was wondering, is Zach Galifianakis really annoying in this movie? Because he annoys me.
He annoys me a lot in his other movies, but it's because in his other movies, he has an arrogance to his character. Like, in The Hangover, my big problem with the first Hangover, which I like the first Hangover, let me say that. I like the first Hangover, but my big problem with it is that Zach Galifianakis' character is just too dumb. Like, I get you have to have the dumb guy, but this guy is like, no one is this dumb who doesn't have a mental disorder. Like, something, they need to, like, just come out and flat out say he was dropped on his head as a child or something, because there is no way anyone is just this dumb. In the second one, but at least in the first one, he was still nice. In the second one, he's the equal amount of dumb, but now he's an asshole about it. And I was like, no, nobody out there can ruin your life with their stupidity this much and then treat you like shit and have you not murder them. Like, they would drop his ass off in a dumpster in Bangkok and then just leave him behind if he acted the way he is in this movie.
Do you want to go back over that sentence with that? Are we good? We good?
What?
It's like, oh yeah, I think they'd kill him.
No! Dude, I'm sorry, but if someone got you into that much shit because they're that stupid, but they were nice about it, you'd be like, alright, fine, you dumbass. If someone got you into that much shit, like the amount of shit they get into in Hangover 2, and then just treated you like shit over it, and they were just an asshole about it, and an arrogant, cocky asshole too, yeah, you'd murder their ass in Bangkok and then just leave.
I would just stop associating with them and go on being a more.
I think that's what Aaron's saying. Just stop associating with them permanently.
Permanently. No, because they will find you. We must ensure this ends. But yeah, and that's my big problem with Zach Galifianakis and so many of the other ones. In this one, yeah, he's dumb, but not like super dumb. He's more like just ignorant. Like he just doesn't know like the rest of the world. Like because he's just a very sweet little small town guy, and he's very nice. Like he's the nicest guy. And at the beginning of the third act, he starts to become an asshole, and that's kind of what I was like, well, now I have no one to root for in this. And yeah, once again, it kind of like tries to go, okay, well, here's the message we're making, and it's like, dude, you didn't need that. Just make it, the little guy up against the great, big, arrogant douchebag. I'm cool with that because I'm not looking for anything great when I go into this movie. I'm just looking for someone to make me laugh. And like I said, the middle half hour of this really did make me laugh. I was really enjoying it. But yeah, it's like, but the first half hour and the last half hour are just like, whatever. But I mean, I still honestly, I would still give it a high 3 stars. Maybe even a low 4, just because I haven't laughed at a comedy as much as I have at the middle of this in a while. But yeah, thinking back on it, I'd high 3 stars.
More importantly, where do you come down on Carolina barbecue?
Carolina barbecue is awesome.
Okay, then good.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I grew up next to Lexington, which is the barbecue capital of North Carolina. They have a barbecue festival, and holy shit, is it good there!
Do they cook muffins?
They deep fry muffins and cover them in pork. So there actually is like
one of
something
your
called
sausage rolls, but in reverse.
Yeah. Oh my god, I want a North Carolina burger so much right now. Too bad I can never go back after what I just said. Anywho.
Just imagining just like some person in a room in North Carolina is like, someone's been bad-mouthing us in a podcast. Put him on the list.
I just realized no one in North Carolina knows what a podcast is, so I think I'm fine. That's right, I will burn every bridge I have in that state. I have secrets about the ex-governor I'm not afraid to put out there. Anyway.
But there aren't any bridges in that state. Oh.
I think that's the only thing they know how to build is bridges there. I don't know. That and furniture. North Carolina has great furniture. I'll say that. That is like
great
their
furniture
big,
on their bridges.
That's their big export. Bridges. No, wait, not bridges. Furniture. They have wicker bridges. That's how good their furniture is. By the way, apologies to any of our listeners who live in North Carolina, but unless you're like in Greensboro or maybe Charlotte, no, Charlotte's a shithole. Unless you're in Greensboro or maybe Raleigh, like a good part of Raleigh, you know it's a shit state and you know it. Asheville's a big hipster town too. So
I live in a town where I just despise everyone there, and it's the worst. So I know how it'd be to live in a place, but not actually associate yourself with any of the values of that place.
Well, my thing wasn't that I hated everyone living there. The people are nice. It's that everyone in North Carolina could die of a plague, and you wouldn't know it for a week. You just think your cable is out, because it's such an empty It's just so empty. Like, you could pick up a rock and throw it as hard as you can in any direction and not hit anything in North Carolina.
Man.
Like, that was my problem with this, that there is nothing in that state. At all. By the way, my sister recently...
you want to move to Texas, then?
If it's in Austin, sure. By the way, my sister, who grew up in North Carolina as well, recently started listening to us, and she knows. Maggie, you know. Comment. Tell us that you know this. Alright, anyway...
Just dragging everyone down with you.
My sister will gladly back me up on hating North Carolina.
Yeah, she's in California now.
She got the fuck out too. All right.
Should we segue to?
I feel sorry for her.
Speaking of politics, should we segue to news right
Let's
now?
go on to it. Yes.
Talk about those Amazon pilots. Have any of you seen those?
Wait, what? No.
No.
Amazon.
I'm going to do it this week.
Oh, Amazon basically released all these pilots for I think was a bunch of comedy shows and a bunch of kid shows as part of their pilot season, and everyone's going to watch them and they'll decide which ones to make into full web shows, and one of them was John Goodman in a political comedy show.
Really?
You tell me John Goodman and political comedy, I am there.
Fuck, I will gladly do that.
So no one else has actually seen any.
No, yeah.
No.
I just know that the Zombieland pilot is up, and the Onion
Yeah.
has one.
The Onion. I haven't watched the Onion one. I want to.
The Onion
I
has
saw-
tried to progress into television so many times and never worked. But I mean, if it's a web series, then maybe.
Yeah, it could work. Well, the Onion have good stuff on YouTube.
Oh
I
yeah,
like their fake news. It's pretty great.
The Onion is good for really short stuff. Like I think
Yeah.
when they have to expand that stuff out into a half hour, that they have problems. But yeah, I didn't even know this was happening. I think this is a great idea, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
we should talk about them next week.
About the next
Yeah,
week, after you've gotten a chance to watch them.
After you, yeah, and after you've got to jump the.
Honestly, we
rest.
have like no real topic next week. I was thinking of next week being our look forward to the summer movies, but who gives a shit about that? We all know what's coming out. So maybe next week we can finally talk about the future of television, because I've been wanting to do that ever since House of Cards came out. But
That's a point.
yeah,
Yes.
I was wanting to save that discussion for when their next show comes out, because everybody likes House of Cards, but I'm far more interested in seeing what everybody thinks after a second show comes out.
Hemlock Grave just came out, didn't it?
It's coming out in a few weeks, so...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, alright. So what's our next news story?
I'm staring at Kevin's, hey, here's some news, you guys.
Oh, he
Yeah.
Okay.
that she sent us. Thank you, Kevin, because we probably wouldn't have anything else.
Oh no, I can come with stuff. Futurama just got canceled. That's sad news.
Did
Who
that
cares?
is sad.
Futurama was bad.
I've
Did it get
checked.
bad?
I don't think so. I think it got bad in its last season on Fox. Well, it didn't get bad. It just suddenly decided we want to be serious and touch your heartstrings every episode.
Wait, are you talking about the dog episode or
The dog episode, Leela's parents episode, there were like 6 episodes in its last season.
fucking cried my heart out at the dog episode?
Oh, that's amazing, that last episode. But I mean, like, the dog episode is great. But I mean, like, there's like 6 or 7 episodes in its final season where I was watching that with the director commentary on, and at one point they just went, Jesus Christ, no wonder we got canceled. Every episode is depressing as shit this season.
Does that have the one with all the time jumps and you see Leela and Fry go from married to broken up in 5 seconds?
Oh no, that
Is that one?
that was the 3rd season.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that one's pretty good as well.
That's a good one too. Yeah, I really like that one. And I like and I honestly like what they've been doing on Comedy Central. I
Comedy
wasn't
Central.
a fan of their movies that they put out. I thought they were okay-ish, but I mean, I wasn't really a fan. But yeah, I've been liking what they've been doing on Comedy Central. But still,
I
that's
never liked that show, so...
yeah, exactly. You never liked the show.
Why have you never liked Futurama? It's great.
Animated comedies are just not really my thing that try to be adult or edgy in that way. Like, I was never allowed to watch Simpsons and Futurama as a kid, and so I've just missed the cultural zeitgeist around them. And also, it reminds me of Family Guy, even though I know they're not related production-wise. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, 'cause Family Guy is garbage, and
Yeah.
that's a
Family
shame.
Guy had 2 really good seasons, in my opinion. It had 2 really good seasons, and yeah, after that, I think it's pretty garbage.
And that's the
'Cause, yeah.
only seasons they were able to air on Adult Swim.
Over and over and over again, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, the Crow remake is still happening, you guys. With Tom Hiddleston instead of Bradley Cooper down in the Crow makeup and busting out the NWO. And whose side is he on?
Whose side is
that
he
was
on?
Sting.
Oh, okay.
Does anyone care about the Crow remake? Because, like,
not really.
yeah,
Really, no.
the Crow wasn't that good.
I actually really like The Crow, but it was totally like a one and done thing. Like, it happened. I really liked it. I don't see the need for more of it.
Yeah, you described it as like an emo '90s movie.
That's
edgy.
the one thing. That's the one thing I really dislike about it. Is the one thing that I really kind of dislike about all '90s movies. It's that like nobody ever shot. Apparently, nothing in the '90s was not shot on a set. Like no one shot anything on location in the '90s, and it's very clear in that film.
Yeah, like you watch Dark City and you're like, man, this is a huge soundstage.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is where the Matrix came from.
Dark City's great.
Let's see. Weird Science is becoming a edgy R-rated comedy from the writers of 21 Jump Street.
Great. I don't care. Move on.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
That's not the John Hughes I enjoy. So, Hey y'all, Breaking Bad starts on the August 11th. Get hyped.
Woo! I shall. Watch me. I'm hyped.
All right.
Okay.
More importantly and more dumbly, fucking why are they doing Talking Bad for the last 8 episodes?
Because they are trying to capture the internet fandom for like old people who don't use the internet and understand internet fandom. It's great. Talking Dead is a perfectly okay show. It's stupid, but it's cheap to produce, and you know what? I am perfectly fine with reality TV programming if it gives me more shit like Breaking Bad.
I just don't like the concept of we had a show, now we're going to talk about that show. Especially with Breaking Bad, with its like mediations on power, its depressing ass depressingness, and then cut to a studio where someone's like, "Oh right, wasn't that awesome when I don't know Walt Jr. died next season?" What happens if something like that happens and they go, "Very sad, it's the loss of Walt Jr." Because shit's going to go bad.
And there's also something to be said about the fact that Talking Dead used to be half an hour after an hour-long show. Now it's an hour-long show talking about the hour-long show you just saw. Like, instead of saying through Talking Dead, you could just rewind your DVR and watch Walking Dead again.
Aaron, it got better ratings than all of NBC.
I know that doesn't mean I have to like it.
But you can at least understand why they went to an hour. They are making that ad money.
Oh, I understand. It's also another reason why I dislike it.
Nah, I'm okay with that business practice. Get on Team GDP. Get that paper.
I think it would be better if
Never
it was
say that again.
Then it's a thing. Just ignore him. I think it would be better if instead of doing it immediately after the show, you wait, like, you do it before the next show, and you get actual, like, views and, like, don't do it as a market. It's basically marketing. It's more marketing. You don't actually get proper views or discussions, which Breaking Bad would merit from. If you did before each show, you had a bunch of people discussing the last show intelligently, I would watch the shit out of that. But that's not what it is. It's a marketing thing, simultaneously promoting, patting yourself on the back, whilst, as I believe Maz put it so eloquently, getting that GDP paper.
No, they're on Team GDP. Get that paper.
Okay, sorry, I don't.
Okay, let's move on.
Anyway, what else is there? Jesus.
Michael Rooker is in Guardians of the Galaxy, y'all, killing space zombies.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
How do you
who
say
does
his
he play?
character's name?
Yandro. I have to see
Yondu?
it. I have to see it written down, but I know how to say it. I just have to see it written down. Yondu. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yondu. Yeah.
I looked him up on Comic Vine. He's not like related to the guy Batista's playing.
Yeah, that's the thing about this, is that there have been 2 incarnations of Guardians of the Galaxy. One is, it was a team from like the 31st century who were freedom fighters that came back in time and met the Avengers. And there's a second incarnation, it's just basically in the modern age, all of space badass Marvel characters come together to form their own team. And the second version is what they're doing for the movie, but Yondu is from the first incarnation. Also, Michael Rooker to me does not seem like a guy who I could picture with a giant orange mohawk and blue skin and pointy elf ears. So part of me just thinks that he's going to be like a guy, like, because they haven't said how much he's going to be in the movie. So part of me just thinks that they're mainly going to have him almost like a storyteller. Like, he'll be some guy in the beginning, just like sitting at a bar, just going, "I remember this tale. It was about a raccoon and a tree that talked." And then it just cuts back to the present age, and that's the story of them. And that would give an excuse for how Thanos could whoop all their asses at the end of it and still have somebody tell them the story. But I don't know. Or he could be in the beginning and just be... Or he could be in the beginning and just be the guy that Thanos kills. And then all of a sudden the other Guardians go, "Oh, fuck, we need to do something about this."
Imagine if they kill Thanos at the end of this movie, and it's not about Thanos, it's about what's bigger than Thanos coming for them.
I would totally be cool with that, because it's like...
Go one step further.
As much as I would love to see Thanos fighting the Avengers, Thanos isn't really known for being an Avengers enemy, and part of me is just like, man, just throw Ultron in there. Just fuck it. Ultron, Kang, any of that shit. I would far rather see them as the villains. So yeah, if Thanos comes in here... I would lose
my shit if Kang showed up.
Oh yeah.
Kang and the Maestro? Oh yeah.
Kang and the Maestro.
Apparently, also, Ophelia Lovebond, or whatever how you say it, is playing someone. It's like that news is super breaking because
Oh, wait.
I just googled it.
Wait, it just happened? What's going on now?
Who is she playing?
It says an aide to the collector, whoever he is.
Holy shit, the collector's in this?
Or the collector's being brought up in this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
The collector is basically just this. There were like 8 people at the beginning of the universe who became like the 8 deities that controlled everything, and the collector was one who was basically in charge of preserving everything, and he was basically just some big greedy nutjob who was like, "You're a superhero? Well, you're going in my collection." He's basically a nerd given huge power.
I hope they introduce him via a parody episode of Hoarders.
Him and Larfleeze just competing against who's the biggest hoarder. God, I would have killed for Larfleeze to be in the next Green Lantern movie. I would have killed for a good Green Lantern movie. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Paramount and IMAX have signed a partnership where 5 movies will be shot with the IMAX camera.
Alright.
So, like, hey, maybe Christopher Nolan's Interstellar and, like, Transformers 4 and are confirmed. And then, like, maybe Mission Impossible, because that'd be cool. Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
Man, that
sure.
is so
Cool.
That is so a news story Kevin should have been here for, because Kevin knows all the camera science facts.
He does. He's all about the IMAX. The thing we learned most about IMAX whilst watching Oblivion is, Jesus Christ, they are turning the subwoofers up every year. especially with the trailers all being like, "Bwah." So the Iron Man 3 trailer and the Star Trek trailer are both just, "Bwah." And you can feel it in your rib cage.
What about the THX sound check?
They don't do that anymore. I think that's against the Geneva Conventions.
Well, I don't.
I missed that.
Well, no, we have a different thing. I don't know if you have this in America, but how they introduce IMAX is the dumbest shit. It just comes up and saying, like, calibrating for maximum audience immersion, with all these crazy dots on the screen.
That doesn't end in an X.
Oh, it's so dumb. And then it goes, and then you're like, my heart is vibrating.
Oh, Jesus.
And the best thing was Oblivion, it had this prologue, and that built up to a title card with the biggest of the entire thing. And I was shattered before I've even seen the film. So that was fun.
There's a title card that says BWW, BAWWW.
I'd watch that.
Infinity. Snow White and the Huntsman 2 is happening, aka Swath 2.
That's
enough. That's enough. We've had it.
Maz, ask me if I care.
Oh, I don't care either. Although I did have my dad watched that movie recently, and he totally just came to me and was like, "Did they just totally rip off a scene from Princess Mononoke?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Nice.
Pitch Perfect is getting a sequel. Yeah, it's an okay movie, and Anna Kendrick will be in it again, so I'll probably see it. 21 Jump Street 2 is also going to be a thing.
Confirmed sequels to films.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Did anyone see The Croods?
I haven't, but I heard it got pretty good reviews. Average.
Reviews, yeah.
Okay, that's a sequel also. And
Yeah, no surprise.
That just
Is it called
like
the
stupidest movie.
Toods?
The suits.
Speaking of DreamWorks movies getting a sequel, has anyone seen the artwork for How to Train Your Dragon 2?
No.
How
You
DreamWorks
haven't?
faces
No.
it.
Oh, damn, I thought you would have. Oh, man. They do something that I was not expecting. They actually aged the characters, by 5 years. And, Hiccup now kind of looks like a badass. Yeah, hold on, I'm going to find this for you guys, because you need to see it.
Because, I know How to Train Your Dragon was, based off a book series. I never read the book series, so I don't know if, if that happens in the book series or not.
Yeah, that movie was really surprising.
Oh, I love that
actually
movie.
kinda-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really
I
actually
still
kinda
haven't seen it, but I want to get to it. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm showing Michelle now.
So
yeah.
is that official?
That's official. Thoughts?
Link us up.
I will link you up to it.
Link us
The
up. We're
armor
ready.
doesn't look like it looks too modern. The armor looks too modern to me. So like, but
No, how about this? In How to Train Your Dragon 2, there's a portal or whatever, and all the main characters end up in a time jump. So dragons in cyberpunk land.
Well, remember that Hiccup's whole thing was that he was an inventor. So to have him suddenly just, pulling together more futuristic-looking armor would not be that weird to me.
So, like, a steampunk dragon movie? I'm down for that.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that is kind of what he was doing, just on a very small level. I mean, and I'm not, like, one of those big, like, I don't understand why steampunk is such a big thing as it is. I will also say this, judging by...
Steampunk is dumb.
What was that?
We both said steampunk is dumb.
Okay, fine, whatever. Like, I don't understand the big appeal of it. Like, yeah, I think it can look cool, but it's like, I don't really care. But it was like... But still, like, that is kind of what he was doing, and, I mean, I think it could be cool. Also, I will say this, his dad appears as a big ghostly figure in the background. He might be dead, which... Like, I don't know, that's totally just speculation on this, but, yeah.
Remember who you are.
That would be so great if his dad was dead, though.
just that sentence.
All right.
Aaron, you can no longer talk about this. You were advocating the murder of Zach Galifianakis.
No, I was advocating the murder of his character, which I stand by.
Okay, then I got the second link to that picture, and I'm just like, it'd be so great if he died, and it's that one girl, she's just smiling and shit. Oh, that'd be so funny. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, clearly a couple things you can tell from this, it's that Hiccup is now definitely more of a warrior. He's, I am applauding them for aging them. I mean, normally in a film like this, they keep everybody the same age forever, so that way they can keep making them over and over and over again. Between this and Kung Fu Panda 2, I think DreamWorks is definitely like, no, man, we want to actually have a big overarching story to our things, which I think is awesome. Mm-hmm. I do like that it shows growth in Hiccup as a character, that he is now becoming more of a badass. So yeah, I was shocked to see this stuff, and I am applauding it. Granted, we have no idea what the movie might be like, but I'm trusting them after the first one, and this, I'm approving of this idea to move forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about trailers.
Hold on, I got another one to throw out. I got something else to throw out. You just had like 9 minutes of just...
You were just like, and I guess Pitch Perfect's having a sequel too, and then we're just
I was
like,
literally just reading what Kevin wrote.
You were just listing off the sequels that were going to be made.
You were the news robot.
I don't know how to be a tiny floating robot. Give me a break here. Kevin processes this stuff in a second, man. I gotta read it first. I also want to say, have you guys seen the set photos for what was it? Amazing Spider-Man 2? Like, they revealed what Electro is going to look like.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
He looks dope. That looks good.
It looks pretty good. I don't know why there are lights inside the hoodie. I think that might just be an effect to create a glowing look on him that they'll take out. Like, I don't think it's actually part of the costume.
You think it's just like the rough draft, like they'll like add CGI and stuff?
Like,
later?
I think they'll use CGI to smooth out the lights on his face, and they'll take away the lights inside the hood. Because I think they're just doing that. But yeah, it looks...
I'd quite like a self-aware version of Electro. He's like, I put lights inside my hood because it looked cool. Yeah. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but there is one thing that I don't really like, which is that it showed what he looks like as Max Dillon, the guy who turns into Electro, and it is a science nerd with bad hair, big thick glasses, a lab coat on. And...
where's that picture?
That picture? Yeah, hold on, I'll link you to that. But yeah.
We also saw Harry Osborn.
But yeah, it's the guy from Chronicle. It looks like the guy from Chronicle.
He does. Yeah, I was like, he don't look like Harry Osborn to me.
I think he looks like Harry Osborn is a nerd who got picked on and had big time daddy issues. That looks like a nerd who gets picked on and has big time daddy issues to me. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, I have a problem with the Max Dillon. That's kind of, I'm not that cool on what they're doing with that, because first off, I'm tired of every single Spider-Man villain being another scientist who had something go bad to him. And I'm also clearly, like, you can look at this and go, okay, well, he's going to start off as a good guy, and then he'll become a freak, and he'll hate it, and that will kind of warp him to being a villain, and he just wants to cure himself. And I don't like that. The thing I always liked about Electro, which don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't do that with villains. I'm saying I'm tired of Hollywood doing that with all the villains. And the thing I always liked about Electro is, Electro was an asshole to start off with. Electro was an asshole who got the powers of a god and then became a bigger asshole. And that was one of the things I always thought was cool about him. So I want that version of Electro. I do not want him to be the scientist who doesn't want to hurt people, but oh, he can't help it, and now I'm angry at people. Which is what all his villains have become in the movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but...
I think they should way more play into whatever Paul Giamatti is doing as the Rhino. I watched Shoot 'Em Up. That dude can be evil.
He can.
I love that movie.
That movie is fun.
So dumb. What's the script be like? It's like, whatever his name is, shoves a carrot through his face, killing him. Just, oh.
Alright, that's enough for the news. Let's go into trailer talk now. We've got 4 to talk about. We're going to talk about Man of Steel, but I'm going to save that for last, because I've got something special kind of to bring up about that one. Let's start off with Only God Forgives, the new Ryan Gosling film. What do you guys think?
It looks really pretty because it's from Nicholas Winding Refn, the director of Drive and Valhalla Rising.
It's from a Harry Potter spell come to life, yes.
Oh, like, man, if you want it, just like a movie for me, it's like moody lighting, Thailand standing elbows, Ryan Gosling looking pretty, swords.
It's odd how much Ryan Gosling looking pretty comes up.
Ryan Gosling is a very good-looking man.
Oh, he is. I have no problem admitting that.
Have you seen his eyes?
Yeah. There's like, as soon as the music hits in that trailer, it's just like, okay, I'm sold. I'm good. Don't need to see anything else. Just need to go see the movie now.
I think it looks like an excellent film, but I've seen Ryan Gosling kick ass for gangsters or by gangsters with weird cinematography and non-mainstream music playing in the background while driving vehicles just one too many times now.
But now
I've seen a lot of superhero movies.
Elbows.
It was like Drive. What was the one where he's now the stunt driver that's out in theaters right now?
The Place Beyond the Pines.
Place Beyond the Pines, and now this one. It's like, I'm not saying they're the same movie, but I'm like, God damn, there's so many themes in this.
But it's Nicholas. I'm going to give Nicholas Winding Refn the benefit of the doubt. Of course, I'm there. I'm right there.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Super excited.
I'm not. I don't want anybody to misinterpret this by me saying it doesn't look good. I'm just saying it's like, God damn, man. But all right, so yeah, that's a fairly easy one to go into. This one's a small one that you just told us about. Kairon, which is Kairos. Sorry, it's coming to Kairon. Sounds like a weird Tupperware dispenser from the 1950s. But yeah, this is a French animated film that, Maz, you just told us about, and yeah, it's like coming straight to DVD, but it does have a really awesome animation in it.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Brian Kozinski, or however you say his name, from Avatar, for reblogging that.
Yeah.
There's one thing the French know how to do, it's animate.
Oh yeah, we saw, what was that recently? The A Cat in Paris?
Oh yeah.
That was gorgeous animation in that. Let's see. So yeah, not a lot to point out in that one, but yeah, because there's no dialogue in it, so we don't really know anything. But
it
looks pretty.
It looks awesome.
Is it going to be like no dialogue, or is it just the scenes that are in the trailer that don't have dialogue?
That's what I'm wondering, because the French are willing to do some arty shit like that to have a big children's adventure where no one says anything and it's all just told through emotions. Plus, I do love that the design of the dinosaur people in that one, which, by the way, for anybody who hasn't seen this trailer, what we're saying right now must sound like the weirdest shit. But yeah, for the design of the dinosaur people, I love that it does look childish. It does look like a kid's cartoon drawing of a dinosaur, just the big, overarching, jagged teeth that are part of the face.
Yeah, that's like the overall, vibe of the movie, kids going on this epic adventure, and it's like, is it real or is it their imaginations?
Yeah.
And that's why it fits so well, the style and everything.
I think so, too. Alright, next up, we've been zooming past these. Next up, R.I.P.D. This one we won't zoom past because we have a disagreement on. Maz?
I think that trailer looks terrible, and Yeah, terrible, 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 terrible.
Well,
RPD. Okay.
well, you can see why you're a very astute critic. All right, terrible.
Mans, what?
I
Mans,
never
what?
said I was thoughtful. I just said I had opinions.
Yes,
That is true.
that's fair. All right. I think that it looks like it could. You know, everybody's saying it looks like, oh, this just looks like Men in Black. What everybody forgets is that the first Men in Black is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. This very well could be a Men in Black 3 or a Men in Black 2. It could also be a Men in Black 1. It's like, I have no idea what to expect from this, but I'm saying it could be just as good as the first Men in Black film, because it's giving me very similar vibes. And I will also say this, I'm really liking Jeff Bridges in this trailer.
I hated him in this trailer.
Okay, there's our distinction. I like Jeff Bridges. He was making me feel good in this trailer. What can I say? Jackson, have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'll see the film.
All right, okay.
I do. I will see the film, and then you'll be like, I don't like British Preferences, and I'll be like, well, I really thought the thematic relevance of the RPD department touched on themes of death and love.
Oh my god, our jokes have become self-aware. They're no longer funny now. Oh shit. Alright, and Michelle, you didn't see it, did you?
See what?
R.I.P.D.?
No.
Alright, well then, alright. It's me and Maz getting just in disagreement.
Yeah,
One
you
of you's
two
like-
duke it out. Just sit over here with
We
my
don't really have a
popcorn
we don't
and-
really have a duke it out. My duke it out is just I like Jeff Bridges, his is I don't. And it's like, what the fuck am I going to say to him? It's like,
Well, let's talk about Superman then.
alright, yeah, let's go to Superman. Alright, because this one I actually have shit to say.
One last thing. It just looks like, yeah, this is the movie that Ryan Reynolds would totally make after making Green Lantern.
Ryan Gosling is Superman.
That would be great.
Yes.
Mr. Brainiac, I just want you to leave this planet alone.
I'm a human being.
Just him flying with Lois. The real human being. Alright. Alright.
It wasn't even the right.
It wasn't. Dude, I don't remember that song much.
Dig, 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 dig. That'll be bad. I'll do the whole bass line. It'll be very terrifying. We'll have to talk about Superman, please. For love of
Alright,
God.
let's talk about the Man of Steel. Alright, now we talked about the first trailer for Man of Steel that came out. And I mentioned that to me it looks like this could be a good film. I don't think it will be a good Superman film. And even when I said I think it could be a good film, I put emphasis on the could. Like, I was still I have no idea. This is a total, I can't get a read on this at all. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this could be a good movie, but it does not look like a Superman film to me. Like, there was just way too much angst. The characters are not in character. It was basically what I feared Christopher Nolan would make out of a Superman film. You know, I mean, you've got the scene that I think did for everyone was when Pa Kent said, I don't know, maybe you should have let that kid die, which is not what Pa Kent would ever fucking say. That's like Ben Reilly going, good, glad you let that mugger go. But yeah, this one almost seems like they heard everybody's critique and went, oh, you wanted this to seem like Superman? We'll put out a Superman trailer. And not only does this look like Superman, it looks like a much better movie. This one, because first off, in this one, the only real thing that we see of Paul Kent in this one is where he shows Clark the rocket ship, and Clark says, can I go back to just being your son? And they cries and hugs him and says, you are my son. I was like, okay, that's Paul Kent. Paul Kent, that's Paul Kent right there.
Yeah, that's, I was just like, oh, I need to go give my dad a hug.
Yeah, exactly. That is a total, like, that almost seems like they were just going, oh shit, we have to actually remind people that Paul Kent is not some weird, creepy farm asshole.
So you think he's still going to be a weird, creepy farm asshole in the movie?
I have no idea. That's
or...
the thing, is that, yeah, you can cut a good trailer together out of anything to mislead people, so who knows. So yeah, don't get me wrong, that, you know, yeah, maybe you should have let him die thing still has me freaked out.
It's like, then again, like, sometimes, like, trailers show scenes that aren't in the original.
Very much so, which, yeah, if it would not surprise me if the maybe you should have let him die is cut out of this. Because that was the one thing that even people who liked the first trailer were saying, what the fuck was that? So it would not surprise me if they cut that moment out of the movie. But also, yeah, Clark seems a lot more like Clark in this. Like, you see him... I was having a discussion with some folks recently about how kids are not going to want to see this movie. Because even if they love Superman, they look at this trailer, and it's a weird, sulking guy just looking down, looking depressed the whole time, in handcuffs the whole time. In this, you see Clark in the interrogation room with Lois in there, and he's just smiling and grinning the whole time, like looking happy. Not saying that, once again, that's what he's going to be in the movie, but it does look more like a positive Clark. It looks more like a Clark who's going to go out there and actually be proactive and be helpful in the world, rather than just going, I don't know where I should be. What's my place on this planet? Which is what the first one made me think of. I am still confused, though, as to who the fuck is young Clark Kent emulating when it shows 5-year-old Clark Kent putting on the red cape and staying in his backyard with his hands on his hip. It's like, Superman does not exist in this world. Who are you imitating?
Maybe he's pretending, how
that
some kids pretend to be a pirate, but they're not emulating Captain Hook or anything.
Yeah, but there's no superhero out there in capes in this world. Who is he emulating? It's and the reason kids put on capes and pretend to fly is because of Superman. There's no one he could be imitating in this unless his dad took him to see Thor when he was a kid. I don't know.
But I think that is the kind of good intertextual references to make with that scene, though, is no, Superman is a myth, and it's a universal one at this point. And even if he doesn't know he is Superman, he knows Superman.
Wait, what?
No, the point is that he just knows to be like that. And kids do stupid shit like that and think they can fly.
So you're saying it's in his DNA is to be Superman.
And
you think
this
Jesus
is a
Christ
Superman
was like that
movie.
when he was
so
little?
Of course he has to do
Don't
that.
bring up Jesus and Superman together, because that makes me think of Superman Returns, which was just 2 hours of Superman standing over the planet with his feet over each other and hands spread out, looking down at it. Which it was, and again, what my fear was with this film. That it was listen, some of the best Superman stories out there are ones where Superman doesn't throw a punch. It's ones where Superman is just kind of talking about philosophy. But after the last Superman, which was nothing but, yes, I am Jesus, just sitting there, no, I fucking need to see Superman punch Mongol through the moon, okay? I need something to get that taste out of my mouth of the last one.
Yeah, that's actually what happens to the moon in Oblivion.
To what?
That's why the moon's all...
I want to talk about the opening of the trailer with, finally we get to see Russell Crowe as Jor-El send off his son.
That was cool, yeah.
Oh, that was really cool. So, I guess Krypton gets destroyed by, Kryptonian civil war.
That also, yeah, that is important to point out, too. It's that in the original one, in the story of Superman, Krypton is destroyed because of a natural disaster. Or Brainiac, depending on who told the story. But in this one, yeah, it looks like Zod is basically destroying all of Krypton in a giant war, and he's bringing a warship to the planet Earth, which, when they were making this movie, the legal disputes over who owned Superman were still going on, so they're like, well, we kind of need to change the origin around a bit. I don't know how I feel about this one. I
can dig it.
I can dig it, but yeah, I don't know if I dig it more than what I'm accustomed to, but then again, that could just be because I'm accustomed to it. I'm going to have to see how it plays out.
In the end, it's his origin is still the same. He is still space orphan. Krypton, it doesn't matter the why's Krypton destroyed. It just matters that Krypton is destroyed, and he is a space orphan.
True, but I think that within this one, it now puts, General Zod as, you are to blame for why I'm a space orphan. It's now puts, a cause behind his origin, rather than just being his... Because to me, it was kind of nice that it was, his dad was a scientist who he had hope for the future. He wanted to do anything to save his child from this big crisis. In this one, it seems almost more like now someone killed his father, is what is to me.
I got the feeling that he was more just this shit's going down. I gotta save my son. I'm gonna send him to Earth.
Oh, true. I mean, that's why, he went out into space, but now it's oh, Krypton? You mean the planet I destroyed, Superman? That's the kind of, that's now what turns Zod into, in my mind.
That doesn't seem like where that's... I mean, I would have a bit of that, but it seems like the main way that's going is Superman is going to be way more terrified of what he can do to humans, because he just saw his power, the power of his race, destroy his own race, and that's going to fuck him up when he's like, I don't want to reveal myself as that, because what if I destroy My New Dad too. What if that happens?
Oh yeah,
I
there's
hope
a
they play
lot.
into
They,
that.
And it
yeah.
just becomes Injustice.
oh jeez.
God's Among
But yeah,
Us,
there's a
the
lot that
movie.
they can do with that. That's one of those ones in which I have to wait until I see it in the movie. But don't get me wrong, I still think it's good. I just don't know if I'm gonna like it more. But yeah, so overall, this gave me a lot more hope. It looks like a better movie, and it also does look like a Superman movie now. Which brings me to our first ever Pupcast exclusive report. Which we should have music for. Thank you. This is gonna be an incredibly weird thing to put out there, but I was recently talking with two people who are entertainment reporters, and turns out they're big comic book nerds, so we were able to start talking about that incessantly. And then all of a sudden they got on to we got into the topic of Man of Steel, and they mentioned both of them had done separate interviews with people on the set of Man of Steel, and one of them flat out said, "Man, Amy Adams, she is great as Lois Lane. Nobody else on this movie knows what the hell they're doing." And the other one said, "Yeah, I tried interviewing someone, and they just kept going on and on about how good Amy Adams is as Lois Lane, and every time I tried to get them off that topic and onto something else, they just diverted it right back into Amy Adams as Lois Lane and how good that is," which makes me think that maybe the rest of the movie isn't that good. They said that they were told that off. One of them said they were told it's bad off the record, but they weren't telling me that off the record, and I'm not using their names. So hopefully that doesn't get anybody in trouble. But yeah, like I said, that trailer made me go, "Oh yes, I am ready," and then this first-hand account made me go, "Oh fuck."
Well, it's a Zack Snyder movie. Come on, it's pretty much like, oh man, this could go either way right until the credits roll.
Yeah.
And even then, there could be a post-credits scene that just ruins it all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also, my big fear is that it's a Christopher Nolan film, which, like I said, I like Christopher Nolan. I think the guy's a great filmmaker. I've liked every movie he's done. I don't think he's done a bad film. I know that some people disagree with me on that, but I personally don't think he's done a bad film. However, when you look at his entire body of work, does Superman come to mind?
Yeah, but
Yes.
honestly, because David Goyer is kind of involved, and I kind of hate David Goyer.
True that.
But I feel like he could talk to Chris Nolan in a way about Superman that would get him to kind of like it. But still, David Goyer is a terrible creator of fiction when he is on his own.
Yeah, a lot of these guys,
Fuck David Goyer.
are best in teams. But yeah, it's, and like I said, Christopher Nolan could do a good Superman film. It's just, like I said, his body of work makes me think that he would go with the dark. Man, I'm just so fucking, listen, I know I'm sounding like I'm breaking down right now, but I'm just so tired of people not understanding Superman. Everybody wants to go, no, I'm going to show what if Superman was dark and gritty. Or, no, I'm going to show what if Superman was Jesus. It's like, okay, I'm all for saying what ifs and taking alternate looks at huge icons of pop culture and of stories in general. I think that's very creative. Can we just get a Superman story first, though? It's been so fucking long since we've had anything but but what about this take on Superman?
I guess, Superman is just so well known, even to the non-comic geeks, that they just want to do a bunch of spin-offs.
I understand that a lot of this is just me speaking as somebody who is involved with a lot of, geekdom in general. Because, to the general audience, it's like, yeah, we know who Superman is. Ooh, here's a dark and gritty look at Superman. To me, it's like, I've seen nothing but that for the past, 10 years, people. Can't I just get Superman?
Aaron, I think you should actually kind of read, I know this, you're probably going to hate this, but you should probably read Batman Unmasked by Will Brooker.
Batman Unmasked?
Yeah, here, I'll send you a link.
Oh, no, let me check.
Analyzing a cultural icon. And look up his TED Talk, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm reading his sequel to this book called Finding the Dark Knight or something like that, post-Batman in a post-9/11 world. Yeah. But I feel like if you read that book, your I Want a Superman story, would be a lot different. Because they're all Superman stories.
Oh, so
Constants and variables, people.
Oh, well, I understand. But yeah, it's there are multiple variables that go into Superman. I understand. But at the same time, it's imagine if all the Batmans you got in the past, 10 years, was the Brave and the Bold, yes, chum kind of Batman. That's still a Batman story. But eventually I want to see The Dark Knight. Yeah, it's not so much that I'm saying those aren't Superman stories. What I'm saying, because like I said, some of the best Superman stories are ones where he doesn't throw a single punch. I'm saying that I've gotten a lot of those recently. And I kind of after the Avengers last year, it made me once again go, oh right! Superheroes can be fun! I totally forgot that!
You mean you don't like reading about Superman walking across America?
Once again, yeah, right there. It's once again, that could be a great Superman story if they weren't all freaking together. I can't remember the last Superman story. I can't remember the last Superman who would make the Iron Giant say Superman at the end of the movie.
Well, I think the point, I haven't read the book, but I'm pretty sure the point that Maz was making about the post 9/11 world is that there isn't that. That's not the way that we've done fiction in a long time for our culture. And the closest thing to that was the Avengers. But even that, no one thinks of Iron Man as that guy. No one thinks of Captain America as that guy. You think of the Avengers as that guy, and we've gone in this direction where having this individual protector, you barely see that in fiction without it being subverted. So it'd be nice if they do pull that off, but that is very rare.
No,
that's the way it's
I
gone.
know that you, Jackson, hated Captain America, but I mean, the majority of critics and audiences really love that, and one of the reasons they loved it is because it did leave them going, yes, hell yeah, I love that, it's uplifting, it made us feel good afterwards.
Oh, but that's a different thing. That's just the Superman is way bigger than that, because no one would ever do a Jesus parable to Captain America. Superman is the whole world above
his
everyone
hand?
Ideal. No, Superman is an ideal. Like I said, it is a myth that was very old-fashioned, and like the Avengers said, Avengers was definitely harkening back to old-fashionedness. But Zack Snyder is not. Zack Snyder isn't the person I would imagine to do something like that. I would actually say Chris Nolan would be better at that kind of thing than Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I can fully understand that, but
I would love a postmodern Superman story where they just
such as.
Well, where basically it's not even... You just have a random Joe named Clark who happens... And Superman-like things happen to him.
It's Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but... Well, okay, I actually like that movie, but uplifting and without crazy Samuel Jackson.
Like an uplifting... Well, Samuel Jackson was kind of a Lex Luthor in that film, but... I don't know. To me, I think you can...
He was his supervillain.
I think you can do the Superman in the modern era, in the era where things are, and still have it harken back. An example that I've always pointed to is it was an issue of Superman called What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, and they turned that into an animated film, Superman versus the Elite, which was basically all these new superheroes show up, and they are the modern-day superheroes. They are the ones who are like, nah, fuck that, we're going to kill the villains. What are you, nuts? And they're the ones who, just destroy property, don't give a shit. They, encourage, they don't give a shit about being role models. And everybody basically turned on Superman and says, yeah, you're a total asshole, we don't like that. And then at the end of it, he goes, alright, fine, I'll be a superhero just like the rest of these guys. And everybody goes, oh shit, no, we don't want that, we don't want it at all. I think that and it's a great little movie. It's especially better than most of the other ones that they put out. And, I mean, so I think it is possible to do that modern-day Superman story while still having it harken back.
Yeah, it's possible, but it's rare, and that's not the way that... If you're a marketing person saying, we need this angle for the Superman film, you don't go... something that only worked 50 years ago. Because you have to try actively to change.
Well, at the same time, I think that from a marketing standpoint, we've mentioned this numerous times, going back to the Avengers, the thing that everybody loved about that is it made them leave the auditorium going, holy shit, yes. It made them leave there going, yes, these are heroes, it makes us feel good. And I think that from a marketing standpoint, all you have to do is just go, imagine all those heroes rolled into one. That's Superman. There. Yeah, I think that is what the Superman movie kind of needs to be. But I mean, I would also be cool with them just saving that for the Justice League movie, but I know that they won't. Let me put it this way.
Justice League movie won't ever happen, man.
If this movie is successful, which after that last trailer, I think it'll be successful.
I think instead of doing a proper Justice League movie, just with the same budget and marketing push, animated Justice League movie.
That would be great.
It would be great. It ain't happening though.
I know,
honestly,
but man, they
I honestly
should.
think instead of rebooting Batman, which is what they want to do as well, just have a world's finest movie, which is the Batman Superman team up movie, where it's Lex Luthor and the Joker, Batman Superman team up. That's it. And then if that works, then you can start thinking about Justice League movie. But
well, heck, have I told you guys my crazy theory about how you easily tie the Nolan Batman into the Zack Snyder Superman movie?
Well, you haven't even seen this one yet, but all right, go ahead.
All you do is
crazy.
You just have Christian Bale see aliens attack and go, I can't be retired. I need to protect my city.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Good enough. Like, there. Aliens exist in the quote-unquote real world now.
Well, see, yeah, once again, I don't
Batman.
want that to happen because I want that Batman movie to be the more of the realistic view on, and I want the Batman...
There are ninjas and stuff. That movie is not realistic.
I know it's not realistic, but it's not a science fiction film. Up until the giant bomb, I guess, but I mean, that's still realistic.
Well, I think the point is that between those first three films, the genre changes so dramatically. Like, you look at this, like, kind of almost fantasy-inspired narrow settings with all the drug hallucinations compared to the bomb and the New York City blowing up type aerial shots of Dark Knight Rises, that they can handle switching to aliens. That has already gone tonally kind of crazy, so I don't think that's a big problem if they pull it off right.
If they pull it off right. Well, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Everybody hates an idea until it's done right. If they pull it off right, then yeah, I'll be like, all right, I was wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I just want the Justice League movie, if it happens, to be good. And I keep getting nervous because, yeah, so far, if it's the Christopher Nolan Batman, that's not one I can really imagine in a Justice League film. And the Superman, still... It makes me worry that it will be down and depressing, even with this trailer, which makes me go, okay, that's more the Superman I know. It does make me worry that will be kind of down and depressing. And I want the Justice League movie to be, dude, you've got a guy called Aquaman on the team. It needs to be uplifting. You've got the Green Lantern and the Flash there. It can't be very serious. Like, honestly, this is what a scene that I want in the Justice League movie. This is the kind of movie I want it to be. Have this Superman in his weird alien skin-tight swimsuit thing that he's wearing. Have that get destroyed. Have the entire city being attacked by Darkseid and his enemies. Have Superman go, I don't know what I'm supposed to be, and have his mom give him some really touching speech about who he needs to be, and have her then go, I whip this up myself and pull out the old-timey Superman suit. And then have him just land in the middle of the battlefield, Green Lantern go, did your mom knit that suit for you? And then he turns around and punches the shit out of one of the parademons and goes, yeah, she did. And then they go, oh, it looks good. All right, yeah. That's what I want this Justice League movie to be. That kind of level of craziness, and yet still harkening back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think if you have, like, a kind of serious emo Superman movie in the beginning, it would make that kind of stuff so much more of an impact, really. But, once again, as I said, this trailer made me go, it does look more like a Superman film. It does look more like the Superman I know.
I gotta go.
Alright, yeah, you gotta go, and we are now about out of topics. So, yeah, we have nothing else to talk about.
Let me do my plugs. Mazim on Twitter, 2 Z's, 2 M's and an A, Maz.net, 3 Z's on Tumblr. Follow me, bitches.
He will call you bitches to your face. He does appearances. Let's see. Alright, well, unless we got any... Oh, shit, we got a question. From Kevin. Oh, great.
It's Kevin.
Who gives a shit? Have you ever eaten a Planet Hollywood before? I used to fucking love Planet Hollywood burgers, and my dad hated their food because it's not very good. And I salute my dad for taking me to those things, even though he hated the environment, hated everything about it, because he knew I loved the burgers.
Well
yes,
done.
so yes, there you go, Kevin. Hey, we got a question. All right. Yeah, let's tell people about what we have coming up then, I guess, to finish this off, this episode with no topic.
The space episode?
The space! There was a lot of space in here. All right. There was space for a topic. Okay.
This is a
Space.
space filler.
Space filler episode.
Watched 19 space movies in 5 days.
Was one of
Jesus.
them Space Jam?
No, I've already
Okay.
seen it, but I do have Space Jam over there. Could watch that.
Oh, shit.
Saw E.T. for the first time.
Oh, wow, for the first time?
Really?
For the
Oh,
first
you know
time.
what? Screw it. Let's talk about that. What do you think about E E.T.?
E.T.'s not bad. It's okay. It wasn't a Back to the Future scenario where I just thought, how the fuck did anyone like this? Oh, I got it. I was like, nope, Steven Spielberg. He totally makes a great film. The scene where, spoilers for anyone who, like me, lived under a rock, where E.T. dies and then comes back, is so terrible. That's the worst part of that movie. Oh, God. I hate that. But apart from that, it's pretty good.
Wait, did you watch the edited version where they replaced the guns with the walkie-talkies, or the original?
No. Standard
Okay.
version, they had some pretty big guns. and then you were like... but the decision not to show any of the adults' face, except the mum, until the last third of that movie is genius. It's
Oh, yeah, I
genius
love
way he shoots
normally
that.
I don't go into big crazy theories, but the idea that this is all a dream is one of my favorite weird movie theories of all time.
Well, it's not actually a dream, but it's totally a dream parable type imaginary friend
Yeah.
thing, divorce, so it's like really obvious. So yeah, it has all that going
Oh, yeah.
for it. And I really struggle with that one scene in the middle because it's so bad. Didn't need but yeah. But then also the worst directed scene in that movie is the iconic flying scene. Like there's no tension and build up. He just goes, "Oh, ground shake. Oh, I'm flying." Like, for the most, reference scene in that film, it wasn't even the best action scene or biggest, moving sequence, which I thought was
Well, it was
weird.
enough to have a ride based on it, so...
Well, and also, it was back then in which it was like, okay, we can make it kind of fly here. Don't put too much emphasis on it. Like, that was the level of budget
it
that they
wasn't-
were working with, I think.
It didn't need more budget. It needed more shots on the ground before he
Oh,
flew.
I
It
gotcha.
needed more build-up. And, cause I didn't feel like... I didn't know he was going to fly until about 2 seconds before he did. I didn't feel like, oh...
That's
it's
true.
gonna
That
happen.
is something that even
Oh,
when I was a kid, I was like, holy shit, he's flying. Like,
Yeah. And for one of the most iconic moments of cinema, I thought, the idea is cool. The moment of itself is, oh shit, E.T. makes his kid fly, is cool. But I just thought it was funny that wasn't
that
actually.
happens. Yeah, that just...
Yeah.
he's flying.
Yeah. But yeah,
Alright.
I luckily don't hate it, unlike certain other films. Pretty good. E.T., you may have heard of it.
I call that a win for this episode. Alright. Alright, well, let's tell people about some of the stuff we have coming up as far as episodes go. We are going to do... I was tempted to have just one solid superhero-themed episode for...
Every episode.
Dude, you have no idea how hard it is. The moment that we were talking with Matt, and he said, man, that Stephanie Brown Batgirl was so good, I was like, you know what? All other gripes, forgotten. All arguments we've ever had are gone, and you and I are going to do a comic book podcast. That's not happening, though, folks. That's not one of the things we have coming up. I'm just, once again, I'm tempted every fucking episode to do that. But no,
Maybe you should just have, your own segment, like a superhero movie segment or something.
Not bad.
Should I announce me and Maz's secret project?
We'll get to that, yeah, because we have multiple other projects coming up. But first off, I was tempted to do that, but because we've got 2 superhero movies coming out this summer, Iron Man and Superman, we're going to do one that's dedicated to the Marvel films, because there's a lot of superhero films in the history of film.
and TV
And
shows,
TV shows
and
and
just
cartoons and all
Marvel.
that, you're right. So that'll be all the Marvel ones when Iron Man comes out. Then after that, we've got Star Trek coming out shortly after, so we'll be doing the space episode then, and which will have its own Star Trek segment to that. We are then also going to have the DC superheroes and movies and television shows for when the Superman film comes out. Jesus Christ, there's so much stuff coming out.
Yeah, it's summer.
It is summer. It is the beginning of summer. Let me see what all are the films that are coming out soon, because I do have all these written down, but I don't have time to look it up.
Oh,
Yes, I always forget to have this stuff open for when it's coming out. And Rotten Tomatoes recently changed their page around, so I have no idea what the fuck anything is on there. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to have our best ensemble cast episode. We're going to have a best sequels episode. We are going to have, let's see, in honor of World War Z, we're going to have some kind of a special week. I have no idea what it'll be, but, because...
Zombie movies?
Zombie, I was thinking, but that's so an October kind of thing. It'd be weird to do in summer to me.
Also, didn't we sort of like do a post-apocalyptic
We already
thing?
did post-apocalyptic,
So it kind of is already...
Was I on that one?
You were on that
or
one,
not?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are going to do an episode dedicated to bad decisions.
I was on that one.
We are going to do an episode dedicated to... I want to do something for Pacific Rim that's like most anticipated films or like, you know, biggest surprises because nobody knew what the hell that movie was going to be about until they saw that trailer. But yeah, those are basically some of the ideas that we have coming up. Let's see. But yeah, anyway, we also have some side projects coming up. We have mentioned multiple times that we are thinking about doing a video game show, especially now that we are on iTunes. And I don't know when it's going to start, but I think we're going to now do a once a month or once every 2 week video game show.
Yep.
And Jackson, you have a special project thing?
Well, this is over the summer. Me and Maz doing probably the dumbest thing we can do because we're all big TV nerds and like doing deeper analysis of stuff. So we thought we'd apply it to quite possibly the one that doesn't deserve it the most. We're going to watch pretty much all of Digimon and do our own thing about that. So you, Aaron, you can stay away as I talk about Izzy and like the bond between Guillemot and Takako.
Yeah, that's good because I
and what
need
that
a
all
break
says.
one of these weeks. That'll be a nice little vacation. But yeah, so yeah, everybody, now that we are on iTunes and we're no longer bound specifically to Screen, don't get me wrong, we're still the officials. The Pupcast is still the official podcast of Screen. But even if some of our views and opinions no longer are not specifically shared by Berman Braun, such as, what's that website you hate, Jackson?
Oh, what? I've forgotten his fucking name. It's the worst website in the world.
Mandatory.
Just go, mandatory, yeah. You go on there and it's just like, we're men. We love men and stuff like ironic Twitter things and boobs. And I'm just like, do want to die right about now.
It's the Maxim magazine of websites. Alright.
Yeah, you know, they've got stuff like Badass Digest, which has Film Crit Hulk, who's like one of my favorite film writers. He's pretty awesome. So they work out in the end. They come out on top.
But yeah, so even though we are still the official podcast of Screen, which means that we are mainly dedicated to movies and television, now that we are on iTunes, which you should all subscribe to, and trust me, if this is your first episode, we are far more focused than we are on this episode. This was literally like the everything fell apart at the last second. It was like, fuck it, we're still doing a show. Because we're professional, damn it.
We are.
Yeah,
we
are fucking professional. I joke about that, but holy shit, are we ever. But yeah, because we are now on iTunes, we can now kind of do a lot more of just whatever the fuck we want to do. And we have our own YouTube channel, which we're going to start, Michelle and I are going to start putting up our own little video game playthrough thing on there. So you will be able to listen to me go, what the fuck is Animal Crossing over and over again.
And you can hear me scream every time I play a horror, I play Dead Space or...
You're not screaming in terror, you're screaming because you're just going, fuck you, you little necromorphs. Yeah. Oh.
Let's lock Aaron in a room and he's not allowed out until he beats I Want to Be the Guy.
What?
Have you never played I Want to Be the
No,
Guy?
I don't even know this thing.
Super hard. It's just an evil, kind of like NES-style evil shooter.
Oh, shit.
It's impossible.
Is it as frustrating as Dark Souls?
More. No, way more. Way more.
Way more? Oh, fuck that thing.
Dark Souls not that frustrating. It's just a bit slower paced. But yeah, no, you would want to see you try to play I Want to Be the Guy for more than 20 minutes.
Dark Souls to me is frustrating because, you know, if you die, then you lose all your souls, and you can go back and collect them, but if you can't collect them, then that means to me that you wasted that hour, basically.
Well, no, you didn't. 'Cause you have to think differently. This is for the video game podcast.
It is. It's totally for the video game podcast, and we'll save it for that. But like I said, we are now going to start doing some different things. You can still come on Screen and find our movie and television podcast, but go to our YouTube channel, which is just simply the Pupcast. Type Pupcast into a YouTube search. We're the very first thing that comes up. And you can also go on iTunes, type in Pupcast on an iTunes search. We're the very second thing that comes up. No, I don't think we are. There is another thing that comes up called Pupcast, but it's like an episode of another podcast, which is weird, because I think it means we now have to fight those people. But anyway, so you can find us doing a lot of other different things. So forgive us for this not being the most professional episode. And Monkey Man 04 just asked us, "What's in my pocket?"
A monkey?
I think, yeah, let's go with that. Weird freak. Anyway.
I just want to read out the Pupcast description for this other podcast. Podcast by two pups. Ian and Ross talk about emigrating for the cybersex, juggalos having the crake, and a local biker folk hero. Includes interview with Ron Sharon.
Holy shit, we're the most professional thing on iTunes called Pupcast. We're better than someone else for once.
And cuts a hilarious music.
Alright, bye everybody. Oh yeah, follow us also on Twitter. We have a Pupcast Twitter account. I have an account called The Obscure Fan. Jackson's.
Tidy002.
Michelle.
Miss Scribbles, MISS_SKRIBBLEZ.
Alright, that's it. That is all I can talk. I have no saliva left in my voice. Anyway.
I'm pressing stop now.
Yes, I'm done. I'm out.
We're all done.
How did we do 2 hours when we didn't have a topic?